episode of your favorite libertarian. Today we're going to be reviewing Surefire's X300U. And now it's time for everyone's favorite portion, what's in the box? Let's take a look, shall we? Oh. Looks like you have a Surefire sticker, the owner's manual. Very nice. All your specs there. Of course, what Surefire package would be complete without a brochure on all the other things that you could buy from them. Also have a warning about batteries. You have all the torque specs for all the different lights that they make, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for that. Then you have the different ways of mounting. So you have a mount for a Picatinny rail, and you also have a mount for a Glock. And then you have the light itself, which includes batteries. Let's talk about the specs of the Surefire X300U. This light has a lumen output of 1000 lumens. Wow. A candela output of 11,300 candela. A runtime of 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's 3.6 inches long, weighs 4.1 ounces with batteries, has a bezel diameter of 1.125 inches, takes 2 CR123A batteries, has a water rating of IPX7, and will run you about $300. Now it's time for pros and cons. Let's start with cons, because why not? The first thing you probably noticed with this light, especially being on a Glock 19, is that it is comically long. It's extremely long. It's insanely long. It's crazy. There's some downsides to this extra length in concealing and in drawing with this light on. When drawing, regardless if it's in the waistband holster or outside the waistband holster, you have to clear this entire light to pull it up and out and on target. That's going to take more time, and there's more of a possibility that this could snag on either your holster or other pieces of gear. The other issue with the length is that when you go to put this in your pants, especially if you're appendix carrying, it's not going to be super comfortable. Next up are these switches. A couple things I noticed right off the bat was, one, it's very mushy. There's no quick push up or push down. There's a lot of resistance, and then eventually it just stops. Same going down. Push, 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 resistance, resistance, and then it goes down all the way. This will probably loosen up in time, but I did find that these buttons are super mushy. The other thing I found with these switches is that they are not audible. There's no positive click up or down. The only click that you get is when it comes back to the middle. You can hear it click there. But when you go up, there's no click at the top. When you go down, there's no click at the bottom. Another thing that's not great compared to its competitors is the candela. It's only 11,300 candela, and the temperature of this light is kind of warm. Now let's talk about the pros. Especially in this configuration, there are a lot of holster options. Glock 19 with an X300, the world is your burrito. Thousands upon thousands of holster makers make a holster for this light and gun combination. It's kind of a minor thing, but you also have the direction your batteries are supposed to go on the bottom here, which is kind of nice. While I dog the candela a little bit, it is still 1,000 lumens. So at closer distances, you're going to have a big bright light and it's going to do the job. Also, this being a Surefire and especially being the UB model, this is very, very sturdy and very, very durable. I also really like that it has a lot of constant on options. You can go up, you can go down, and it's ambidextrous in those activation points, as well as a momentary by pushing forward either with the left or the right button. Lastly, it's got a relatively small in diameter head for the output. Why is that important? Well, it's not so much in a pistol light, but if you were to take this off and put this on something like, oh, I don't know, maybe a rifle or AR pistol, if you have a red dot and you have a weapon mounted light, you have a couple options. You can either put it on the side here and either have it straight out, 45-degree angle. You can do the same thing on the opposite side. You can put it underneath, or you can put it directly on top of the Picatinny rail. Some of the issues with putting it on top of the Picatinny rail are that this, in some cases, depending on the light, could obstruct your view through your optic. What I've found to be the case when dry firing and having this on here is that the only thing that really protrudes slightly is this little hinge for the battery door. So what's nice about this is if you're transporting it in a case or backpack or whatever, you don't have bulk on the side of your gun, making things bulge where they shouldn't be bulging, and you also have ambidextrous activation. And you have the added benefit, being that this is a pistol light, that is much lighter in most cases than your other full-length rifle weapon-mounted lights. There's just one con that I forgot to mention on this light in the con section, and that is the price. This is not an inexpensive budget option light. This light on Amazon, which is a relatively good gauge for figuring out how much things cost street price, is $300. I guess the X300 stands for X gonna cost you $300. That's not a little bit of money. So one of the things that I need to do before I decide if this is the right light for me, and maybe it'll help you decide if it's the right light for you, is comparing it to something else that is very similar in some ways and very different in some ways that's already out on the market. Enter in the Streamlight TLR1 HL, both 1,000 lumen pistol lights, but which one is better? I'm going to try to answer that question, at least for me, in an upcoming review comparing these two lights. So if you like this review, you're going to love my comparison on these two lights. Stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you'll be updated as soon as the video on the comparison between these two lights drops. That's going to do it for me and my review of the X300 Ultra, and as always, stay free. God bless.